Milk steaming. Each time you steam the milk for a coffee, you first need to purge the steamer to get rid of any water that has condensed inside it. Remember to always handle the steam wand by the silicon. When you are positioning the steam wand in the jug, imagine your jug is divided into 4 quarters. You want your steam wand to be in either one of the first 2 quarters of the jug. Whichever coffee you are steaming the milk for, there are 2 phases to steaming the milk. You'll need to keep one hand on the jug at all times when you are steaming the milk, so you know by feel when to move between the 2 phases, and when your milk is finished. The first phase is when you're introducing air to the milk, and you want your milk to spin in a nice calm vortex. For this phase, you want the steam wand to be just under the surface of the milk. The second phase is when your milk has reached 40 degrees Celsius, which is when it starts to feel warm to the touch. When the milk jug starts to feel warm, you need to lift the jug up by the handle and make sure the steam wand sits deeper, about halfway into your jug. You finish the steaming process when your milk reaches around 65 degrees Celsius, which is when it becomes too hot to touch. Once the milk is steamed, remove the jug and wipe the steam wand with the correct cloth and purge it to get rid of leftover milk. Make sure there is no residual milk on the steam wand. Next, you need to polish the milk in a circular motion until the surface is smooth and shiny. If you have some small surface bubbles, knock the jug gently on the surface to get rid of them. Before you pour your milk, give your cup of coffee a little swirl to knock out any bubbles. Steaming the milk for a latte. The process of steaming the milk for a latte is the same as for a flat white, which is a thinner milk than you would use for a cappuccino. For a latte and a flat white, you need to stretch the milk a little bit, but don't want to add too much air, so the first stage of milk steaming doesn't require as much time. After you have introduced the required amount of air, lower the steam wand into your milk and just let it spin gently to heat up. Pouring the milk for a latte. Start the pour slightly higher above the cup and aim to get the milk into the middle of the cup. Start pouring the milk, and when you're about halfway through the cup, lower the jug, wiggle the jug a little, hold it, let it pour out, and then lift up and cut through. You can see the coffee looks quite milky for a latte. Steaming the milk for a flat white. For a flat white, you need to pour the milk into a smaller jug. As before, pour the milk up to the level of the spout and then put the steam wand into the jug. Aerate the milk a tiny bit and then just lower the steam wand down into your milk and let the milk spin in a circle until it heats up. Once again, you'll want to polish the milk and knock out the surface bubbles. Pouring a flat white. In order to pour a flat white, we pour the milk into the jug exactly the same way as for the latte. Start the pour slightly higher above the cup and aim to get the milk into the middle of the cup. About halfway through, you can take the jug all the way down towards the cup. Pour the foam by dipping the jug slightly forwards and then lift up and cut through. And that's your flat white. Steaming the milk for a cappuccino. For a cappuccino, you need to stretch the milk a bit more than you would for the other drinks. Keep your steamer just under the surface of the milk and use every single second of phase 1 of the steaming to introduce as much air as possible to the milk. More air than when you're steaming milk for a latte or a flat white. Once the milk is starting to get warm, lower the steam wand and let it spin and heat up. You'll see that the milk for the cappuccino is thicker than the latte and flat white milk. Polish the milk. You can see that the milk for the cappuccino is quite thick, so you want a nice, thick, shiny foam. Start the pour slightly higher above the cup and aim to get the milk into the middle of the cup. About halfway through, take the jug all the way down towards the cup and pour the foam by dipping the jug slightly forwards, and then lift up and cut through. Then finish this off with a dusting of cocoa powder. And that's your cappuccino. Steaming oat milk. Pour the oat milk into the jug with the yellow silicone arm. As with the regular milk, you need to pour it just under the spout level. This will give you enough space to introduce air into your milk and then stretch it out. Make sure you purge and fully clean the steam wand with the yellow cloth before steaming the oat milk. Insert the jug and follow the same process as for steaming regular milk. Stretch it less or more depending on the type of drink you're making, then lower the steamer once your milk gets warm. When the milk is steamed, wipe the steam arm with the yellow cloth and purge it. Polish the milk as you would with dairy milk.